me tell you something right now. While everybody out here looking for flash, glitz, and then big names in the first round, there's a quarterback down in Dallas, yeah. I said it. Who's sitting back, laughing at you, passing him up? His name ain't Dakota Prescott. But y'all just know him as Dak. And this year, y'all sleeping hard. But not me. Nah, I'm wide awake. And I'm about to break it down for you real slow. Why Dak Prescott might just be the biggest fantasy football steal since Tom Brady in round 6. Look, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Dak been catching strays his whole career. Whether it's fans, media, or fantasy experts. They act like every time he throws an incompletion, it's time to sound the alarms in Arlington. They treating Dak like a liability when it's been nothing but consistent. When healthy, on C says, wagging his finger. Let's not forget, this man led the league in touchdown passes in 2023 with 36, threw for over 4,500 yards, and was third among fantasy quarterbacks. And you'll want to draft him behind a dude who's still wearing a walking boot. Please, let's talk 2025. There's a new sheriff in town, Brian Stottenheimer. He ain't new to football, but he new to taking the reins in Dallas. And let me tell you something. This man loves to air it out. The Cowboys run game. Man, I've seen cardboard cutouts with more explosion than what they got in the backfield. That ain't no diss. That's reality. Ain't no Ezekiel Elliott in his prime walking through that door. That means one thing. Fam. D-A-K, sling it. And don't sleep on the weapons. CeeDee Lamb still cooking. Jake Ferguson developing into a real security blanket. Then boom. They add George Pickens. A dog. Pure alpha. Dude catches contested balls like he bet a paycheck on each one. Now let's talk ADP. Average draft position. Uneasy grabs a whiteboard. Dak Prescott. Going around pick 111 in most fantasy leagues. That's round 9 or 10. And he's the 14th quarterback taken? So let me get this straight. You're taking rookies, dudes with glass ankles and noodle-armed vets, before a guy who put up MVP caliber numbers 18 months ago? Oh, you're wild. This is what I call the recency bias trap. See, Dak missed the second half of 2024 with that hamstring injury. But before that, brother was ballin' like he had stock in EA Sports. And now he healthy, fully. Training camp, full go. Week 1, he's under center. Full go, week 1. If you're looking for late round firepower at quarterback, this your dude. Let's do some math. Yeah, Unsee can count too. In 2023, 4,567 yards, 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Put 3 in red zone passer rating that year. Dak averaged 24.5 fantasy points per game, behind only Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. You know what Allen and Hurts cost you in the draft? Your soul, your firstborn, and your due to Dak. You picking him while everybody else looking for backup kickers. This ain't just value, folks. This is robbery. This man is walking into your lineup and taking names, and you got him for pennies. Now let's get off the stat sheet for a second. Year 10, double digits. That ain't no small feat in the NFL. Dak got command now of the huddle, of the locker room, of the entire damn franchise. The Cowboys don't move without 4 touching the ball. That's facts. This ain't no sophomore with a headband and bad decision-making. Dak's been battle-tested, pressure-tested, and yeah, media-tested. You think criticism from Skip Bayless phases this man at this point? Nah, homie. He been through worse in that pocket. Dak's football IQ is next level. Audible mastery, route timing, pocket awareness. It's all there. That translates to fantasy production, especially in close games. Look, you all love to talk about injury risks. Dak tore his ankle off the bone in 2020, came back and played his best football 2 years later. Last season was a hamstring, not a ligament, not structural, a muscle strain. You're worried about Dak like he's 38 with a cane. Stop it. Dude's 31 prime. QB years. Every QB carries risk. You taking Lamar. He been dinged up. You taking Anthony Richardson. He barely made it out the first month last year. Dak is not more fragile than the average NFL quarterback, but he is more accountable. That's why when he sits, people panic. But trust me, dude's back and looking shredded in those order picks. Let me give you all some fantasy game right here. You go RB where early, stack your core. And while everybody panics and reaches for a QB in round 5 or 6, you wait, chill. Let him get Mahomes. Let him blow early draft capital. Round 9 or 10, boom. Dak's sitting there like a stack of $100 in the glove compartment. You just drafted a potential top 5 fantasy QB late. Now go get a R4 and flex on these fools. This is how championships are won. Not with trendy picks, but value. Dak is that value? Let's go deeper. Dallas will be playing from ahead and behind, which means Dak gonna be throwing regardless. Schottenheimer isn't conservative like Kellen Moore was, and that's saying something. Expect more vertical shots, RPO design, throws, quick hits, slants to CD and Pickens. Red zone looks for Ferguson. The offense is built for volume, not just 30 passes a game. 40 TE regularly. That's fantasy gold. Now once go and put it blunt, Dak versus Deshaun Watson. Dak every time. Dak versus Tua. Give me Dak. Better durability. Higher upside. Dak versus Trevor Lawrence. Look, I like Trevor, but Dak got more proven fantasy juice. You've got to stop letting ESPN segments and Twitter narratives trick you into bad decisions. Fantasy football is about data and context. This season ain't just about fantasy. It's about legacy. Dak is entering a prove-it year. Last of his contract. No extension locked in. New coach, new offense. He knows what time it is. You ever seen a hungry man in a contract year? You ever seen that man with a chip the size of AT&T Stadium on his shoulder? That's Dak in 2025. When legacy and fantasy align, you get historic seasons. Look, y'all can keep sleeping on Dak Prescott. You can keep passing him up for shiny toys with injury histories and unproven arms. But don't come crying to NC when your league's champion sitting back laughing, stacking wins with Dak dropping 30 on EM Weekly like it's nothing. Prescott ain't just a fantasy steal. He's a statement. In year 10, he's got the weapons, the system, and the motivation. That's a dangerous combo. So do what you want with your picks. But if you want to win early, laugh all season,